Hi, so we're just going to jump into using colored pencil a little bit on this next unit, trying to create some form. And I know that you just looked at a presentation and hopefully we'll bring it all together here. But I want you guys to practice a little bit before you jump onto your final on this page that has these simple forms that I'm sure you've done many times with like a pencil, but I'm going to have you jump into this with a little bit of color theory. So we're going to start with the sphere, and if I want this sphere to be blue, I want you to think beyond it just being blue. I want you to get some blues and some purples because they are nearby in the color wheel, and then I also want you to grab a colored pencil that is on the opposite side of the color wheel. So if I have a blue sphere, it's going to include these bluish colors, and then I always want to have the complete opposite over here because you can darken these colors with the complementary color. So if I am shading this sphere and colored pencils go in circular motions again, they're a little waxier, not quite as fine as like a graphite pencil, so you can go a little bit quicker, but you still want to slow down and bring your light in from a certain way. You're going to put your shadow on the opposite side from where the light falls, and you can just go ahead and apply this. And I'm going a little bit quicker because it is a demo, so just take your time and try to make this kind of make visual sense for you. Just let it be a little bit of a practice before you jump into it. All right, now I put blue down. That's my main color. You always want to start with your main color, but if you look at any good piece of art, there are always lots of other colors mixed in. There's a lot of depth that's created when you start layering on top. So I'm going to layer this other blue on top of this just to enhance the shadow, also just to enhance the color itself. Again, the more colors that you can see mixed in, and when I put some of the forms on the board that are finished, you'll be able to see lots of colors actually mixed into one, okay? Then I'm going to do this little purple pop on top of it just to give it some oomph. And finally, what typically doesn't make sense to students right away when they're doing basic color theory is I'm going to take something that's completely different than this. I'm going to take this orange and just very lightly, I don't want to overwhelm it because up close it's like, whoa, this color looks weird. But from a distance, this complementary color actually makes shadow, and that complementary color actually shows up in the shadow on the table as well, which is weird. If you were to stare at a blue square for 1 minute and then stare at a white wall for the next minute, you would see an orange square, because your eye automatically, because of the rods and cones in your eye, it automatically wants to see the complementary color. So there is science behind that. I cannot explain all the science of the eye, but I can tell you that putting in some of that complement in with the blue is actually a really good color move. So you can see in the shadow I'm also using the same blues, but I'm using the complement as well to make things darker. Okay, so these are the 4 colored pencils I used in that one sphere. All right, so if I was going to shade this cylinder, like let's say I wanted the cylinder to be orange, well, I'm going to pick my main orange color. I'm also going to pick some colors nearby it to enhance it. All right, because again, you don't want just one color, you want several colors to enhance it. So there's my little color combination, but I'm also going to grab this blue because I want the complementary color. So I'm kind of doing the opposite of what I just did on the sphere when you get to this cylinder. So I'm going to go in with orange. If my light's coming in this way, it's light on one side, and I'm going to get darker over here. And then after I get done with this orange, and just again take your time on these, let this just kind of visually sink in. Let this be practice so that it's much easier on your final. Now I'm going to mix in some red in there. just to give it some oomph, not make it quite so plain. I might make the top, since it's farther away from the light, might make the top a darker color. I'm going to put a little pink in there just to kind of blend. And now, in the shadow, just a little bit, I'm going to add that complementary color instead of shading with black. A lot of people want to put shadow in with black. Avoid using black when you can. There are times to use black, but it will overpower your shadow. All right, let's pick out some greens for this cone. And the opposite of green on the color wheel is red. So then I have my red over here. I'm going to bring my light in this way. And I'm going to lay down some greens, go from light to dark. Again, you're working away from the light source to create some form. Obviously, we're not looking at real forms, but we are thinking about how light works. That is not a Prismacolor colored pencil, and I realized that right away because it's not as smooth. I want you guys to use Prismacolors on this. They are a great colored pencil, especially compared to like a Blick colored pencil or a Crayola colored pencil. They're just much more waxy and they roll onto your page. And now I'm going to put a little bit of red in there to create the shadow. And if I want to lay a shadow down, coming away from that light source, I could. Again, if you were to look at a green rectangle for a minute and then look at a plain white wall after that, you're going to see a red rectangle because automatically your eye is looking to find a complementary color in there. And finally, let's do a purple rectangle. I'm going to grab some different purples here. Rectangles are a little different just because you clearly, like if I had light coming in from the side, this is going to clearly be the lightest side. I guess that's more of a blue than a purple. We'll go with this. This will clearly be the lightest side. And then you can choose what you want to be your medium side. Press a little bit harder. And then your darkest side will be away from that light source. And I'll mix in those different purples. I'm kind of going a little quicker on this one. There's my medium side. Got my different purples and blues. Mixed together there. And then on the shadowed side, yellow is the opposite of purple. Yellow and purple are the hardest set of complements that work together because yellow is so light. So sometimes when you add yellow in, it does look a little bit weird. It doesn't look like as dark of a shadow. So I try to stay away kind of from yellows and purples as complementary colors, but it still makes that same kind of color theory happen. Bring a yellow shadow out, and I'm going to put some purple in it. Okay, so you have these 4 forms that you want to work with. You want to pick 3 colors that are similar, and then a color that's opposite from that on the color wheel. And you guys are going to practice these before we hop into our next project, okay? What you don't want to do is just stay with plain blue or plain orange or plain green or plain purple. We want to work beyond that and actually use color theory to create something a little more robust. Let's say it that way. So, all right. Good luck.